Flights, I guess.
Oh, is that what it was?
Late flights or whatever the heck.
Ah, it's a direct flight.
Well, Charlie had one.
Delta flies there direct from here. I've been on it.
True, good to know.
Yeah. All right.
How bad was the weather there in person?
I mean, it got significantly worse as the game wore on. It was kind of easy, light rain, wind, and then as it progressed, it got heavier rain and heavier wind, and then it sort of let up towards the end again. But it was wind was blowing kind of into our faces on the sideline, so it was a crosswind on the field, and wasn't easy.
Trevor's had some ball security issues last season, 3 or 4 games with multiple fumbles, then Sunday's matchup. Is there a way something you can simply correct with him to help him with the fumbles, or?
We just got to make sure there's 2 hands on the ball, number one. I know one thing that some guys have done in the past, and we'll just have a conversation as they use those wet gloves, those passing type gloves, and it's something that, now listen, it's an individual preference too. It's nothing that I would definitely force him to wear, but something to have that conversation at least to, if we know we're going to be in some bad weather, inclement weather like that to do. But, we just got to focus on 2 hands on the ball and just making sure that we do everything in our power to keep it in our hands.
Did y'all have those gloves on the sideline?
For him, nah, I don't know that.
Did Jamal, the opportunity he had, show you exactly what you wanted to see?
Yeah. Yeah, he's exactly the type of player that we expected, not just a punt returner or a specialist that way, but he's smart, tough, very good athlete, good quickness, catches the ball well, receiver, and did some nice things in the game.
There's no thought of pulling Trevor at any point after the fumbles.
Oh no.
When you've got a guy that's kind of trying to work through that, how are they able to kind of do that? Or what's the process for them to go through in their head, really kind of work through it as it's happening during the game?
Well, you would hope that we could, if we were a little more efficient running the football, just help him kind of get the offense going a little bit, as we sort of struggled to move the ball in the middle part of the game there. That helps a quarterback kind of settle in. Getting him out of the pocket a couple times was, by design was good, for him. Things like that we can do as coaches and play callers to, help those, help a guy like Trevor in those situations so where he's not constantly in the pocket where, when you get good pass rush, kind of closing the pocket, that's where some of the hands get in and the arms get in, and that's where, sometimes the ball gets a little loose and gets knocked out of your hands.
How do you work with a young quarterback on end-of-game situations? In your 2 losses this year, you've had the ball late in the game with a chance to go down and drive to win or tie. Both of those drives ended in turnovers. How do you work with Trevor on those end-of-game kind of scenarios? Just
got to keep doing it, keep putting him in those situations. Keep putting the team in those situations, and we'll get better. We just learn from them, and honestly keep working them, keep talking about them, and the day will come when we learn how to do that and overcome that.
In your history, is there something in the quarterbacks that are really good in those situations that's different, or the way they approach them, or?
The good ones, obviously, and I feel Trevor's in that group as we go. They want the ball in their hands, and that's when you look around Brady and Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers and those guys. They want the ball in their hands. Josh Allen. They want the ball in their hands at the end of the game to go win the game. And those are with a young quarterback. We have to have more opportunity, obviously, to do that. We've had a couple this year, but we want to make sure that when we do have the football at the end, that we stay aggressive, maintain that mentality, especially at the quarterback position, and everybody kind of rides his coattail, down the field and score, win the game.
In retrospect, beginning the first possession of the third quarter, do you think you should have run the ball a little bit more in that situation, at least to start out, or is what the defense was giving you?
Well, I mean, we started out. We had Trevor on the run. Early in that third, I think the first or second play of the half, he was on the run, had a chance to either hit Dan Arnold or Christian, and didn't, and ended up taking taking a sack in that situation. You know, I believe that was on first down because it was 2nd and 11 after that. So, you know, those are all ways of sort of extending the run. They were, you know, on first down, they were putting five linemen, you know, on the line of scrimmage, making it a little bit harder, you know, to run the football. They were, you know, blitzing the safety, making it a little bit harder to run the football. So we felt like our best opportunity is to just kind of get them out of the pocket, you know, utilize a little play action pass and you know, try to get the ball moving that way.
That many turnovers, the team never quit. At the end of the game, you're still only end up losing by 1 score. Can you learn something from a young team that kept battling through what felt like 3/4 of just about everything that could go wrong going wrong?
Yes. You know, obviously it is what it is. We lost the football game, but when you look at it, there's plays to be made, you know, and our guys will learn to make them, you know, as we go in time. They'll learn to do that, and you know, it's they're teachable moments, but at the same time, you know, you start running out of time, right? Your season is moving along, is moving fast, and we're into week 5, and we keep saying there's a lot of ball ahead of us and all that, but if we don't fix it, you know, you're going to look up and you're going to say, I wish I could, you know, or that shoulda, woulda, coulda deal. But yeah, it's very, very teachable moments for us as an offense, for a team, even defensively, you know, to make the plays that come to you. Don't go chasing plays, you know. When they come, make them, and, you know, we'll be better off for it.
Do you have anything more on Fatakasi? About his hammy?
Quad, yeah, it's quad. Calf was fine. It was his quad in this game, and he's day-to-day right now.
Doug, you're very even keel. Is that just your personality or by design in the course of the season that you have to be that?
I think it's both. It is my personality, but, you know, the guys know when I get upset, and they see it. You know, I'm not going to show it publicly, you know. I don't think it does anybody any good that way. But at the same time, you know, if I'm the one that's all over the place emotionally, there's no calmness amongst the team. And I feel like if I'm calm, they're calm. You know, if I'm erratic, they could be erratic. And so it's a little bit of both, probably my personality, but at the same time, I just want to make sure that, and I don't ever want to let the opponent know that they've gotten under your skin too, you know, and all of that. So we just stay the course.
After 2 really good games, was yesterday a setback for Trevor or more of just a blip? You know what I mean?
Let's hope it's a blip, you know. Yeah, I don't think it's a setback. I just think it's a blip. I just think it's you know, you just hate to say it, but maybe it's one of those games during the season where just nothing really goes right, you know, and it happens. But, you know, I'll never make excuses. You know, we have to do a better job of hanging on the football. He knows that. That's the prized possession out there. You know, if we make the plays that were left on the field, it might be a different outcome today.
Do the fans need to, I'm sorry, Mike, go ahead.
Angry team this morning still?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're disappointed. They're mad. They're upset. They know. You know, I think they're starting to believe just how, you know, special they are, how good they can be. You know, sometimes we just have to get out of our own way and just kind of go play.
And there's
You
a,
can channel that though, right? I mean,
Yeah,
head
for
coach,
sure.
that's easy
Yeah,
to
it's
channel.
easy to channel. It's you know, it's waving the flag. It's like, here I am. Let's just go. You know.
you think people should also keep in mind, that was a darn good football team you were playing yesterday. I mean,
That's a
how-
great football team, yeah.
Are those guys going to be in a conversation way into January? In that
The
conference?
Eagles?
Yeah, in that conference.
I think in that division they're in, yeah, and I think in the NFC, I think they'll be one of the teams at the end. They're playing really aggressive on defense, and offensively they're efficient. Obviously they ran the ball well yesterday. Their quarterback is playing at a high level. They got skill on the perimeter. Got a really good tight end. So I think overall, yeah, at the end of the day, you know, that's a playoff team, you know, that we still had chances of beating, and unfortunately we didn't.
Did they look good for this week, practice-wise?
I think so. Yeah, he was looking good today. Have a couple more days of rest and see where he's at on Wednesday, but I think he'll be ready to go.
Yesterday, it obviously didn't go well, but you got an AFC South game coming up this weekend. How important is it to kind of get right this week?
Well, you have to. It's definitely one of the goals we've talked about. And Houston. When you look at Houston too, I mean, this team, their win-loss record may not be what they think it should be or where it should be, but this is a good football team. They're really aggressive defensively. They're young. They fly around. They've got some top draft picks over there. They went out and got some quality free agents, and it's a group that you better come ready to play. And offensively, might be young in some spots, quarterback being one of them, and just being able to handle that. And so we just got to have a great week of preparation, just keep focusing on us and, fix the mistakes from this past week and go play.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, guys. Thanks.
Just a glimpse of what you think you can bring to the offense.
I'm just, next man up mentality. Unfortunately, Zay couldn't play, but that just means more opportunities for guys like myself or Tim or even, KP had a chance to be activated. So, when somebody like that goes down, it shouldn't be any drop-off. We got to go in there. Coaching staff expects us to continue to make plays just like, Zay does or Christian or Marv. So that's just the mentality we have.
Is this team still angry this morning or today from yesterday?
Yeah, obviously. But we got a 24-hour rule, so we watch the film, and we're just gonna completely flush it. We're focused on Houston right now. We got a big division game at home. Feel like we haven't been at home in like a month. But we gotta learn from the mistakes that we made, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna bounce back.
What was the feeling like on the sideline late in the game? I mean, y'all jumped out to that lead, and then things kind of stalled out. But all of a sudden, last drive, you're out there with a chance to go down the field and maybe tie it up.
Mm-hmm.
What was the confidence level like?
We had no doubt that we could go down there and move the ball. And we've been doing it all season. We've been really good in these 2-minute situations so far this year. Unfortunately, we turned the ball over. That was just kind of the story of the game was, turning the ball over, not executing on 3rd down, 4th down. But those are things we've been doing well all year, so we just got to get back to what we were doing. We can't let the elements affect anything. Just get back to what we do, play Jaguar football, and continue to go win games.
On that touchdown, how often does that play work in practice? I guess you wouldn't put it in the game if it didn't, but has that been something that's always
first
worked
one?
in practice? Yeah.
We actually just put that in last week, but that's a credit to the coaching staff, kind of knowing what the Eagles would have ran in that situation. They kind of, the way we drew it up, they were like, this is what they're going to do, and they did exactly that. They kind of got confused and lost, and it worked to my benefit, our benefit, but I got a nice little touchdown.
Could you believe you were that wide open?
No, because that's what the coaching staff said was going to happen. Is they said he was going to, they're not going to communicate it properly. That if you watch the film, they were trying to tell the guy on the other side, if he goes in motion, you got to go take him, and it happened just like they said. So that's credit to the coaching staff.
And then on the play where Trevor overthrew you a little bit, did that need just a little bit more air under the ball?
He got pressure. He probably threw it a little bit sooner than he wanted to. I don't know who it was. They got a little bit of pressure on him, but we had a chance right there to go up 21-0 right there. That would have been huge. But we just gotta get back to executing.
Take us through the screenplay on the left, and you kind of come back and let Cam get in front and take us through that.
That play's designed to offensive line, the tackle and the guard to come out and lead block. And then when I caught it, I see nothing but green jersey. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna let Cam get out here first, and then I'm gonna start running. So and I seen Cam pancake him, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna just follow him. So I just kept going. Credit to Cam. Cam's probably one of the most athletic tackles in the game right now. We do a lot of things to get him in space, lead block and stuff like that. So it's just fun watching him. He's been doing that all year, too. He did that to 44 on the Colts, too, and completely pancaked him.
Injuries or no, do you feel like you're going to get more at-bats in the rotation, even if everybody's healthy?
Hopefully I'd imagine, but, I'm just playing whatever role I am. Obviously, I'm going to be back there returning kicks, trying to make plays, and always have that mentality that if they call my number, then, I'm going to go out there and make plays, and I've always said that's how I see myself, as just a playmaker. So whenever they call my number, I'm going to go out there and try to execute.
Trevor's generally kind of an even guy, doesn't get too high, too low. Was that the same after yesterday's game, or did he need a little pick-me-up?
He's the same, whether he's having his best game or whether he feels like he's, not playing like he's supposed to be. And that's why we have guys like Marv and Christian and Zay, especially Zay, to, keep the energy high, especially with Trevor. He's such a young quarterback. He's got a lot on his plate, and, we're riding with him whether he's, throwing for 500 yards or whether he's, playing in a sloppy weather game like that yesterday. So, we're going to ride with Trevor because he's the leader of this team, whether he really realize it or not. He's so young, but we're riding with 16 till the wheels fall off.
You mentioned that on that touchdown that it happened just how the coaching staff told you. How much does, when you go out there and see something they said, well, this is what's going to happen, and then you see it actually go that way, just help to build that confidence and that trust between the players and the coaching staff?
I mean, that's been happening all year, especially after the Washington game where we weren't executing like we felt we should have. Coaches started really scheming things up, and you've seen that in the Colts game and the Charger game. And a lot of the big plays we had and a lot of the explosive plays we had were, looks that we seen on film, and the coaching staff were like, when we run this play, we're going to get this look, and, it would happen. And that definitely just builds the trust, just knowing that they're going to put us in positions to make plays and to be successful. And, it's a long season. We're 2-2 in this first quarter of the season. We're going to put that behind us, and we're just focused on this next quarter of the season.
2 losses so far this year, but both of them by 1 score. I mean, obviously there's no moral victories, but you got to look at both of those games and say, if we made a play here or a play there, you could have walked out and been talking about an undefeated team right now.
Yeah, obviously you think about that all the time, but you can't go back in the past and change things. But, we feel like we left a lot on the field yesterday. We just watched the film. Even a couple of those, those turnovers, we feel like, we could have made some plays off of them. But, we're putting that behind us. We got that 24-hour rule. But we're a really good team, especially when we're out there executing like we're supposed to be. Offense, defense, special teams. We're going to be one of the best teams in this league. But, we got to do the little things to get to that level, to, talk like that.
To stay there, you got to win your conference games. You got a game against the Texans coming up this week. How important is that one to be kind of like a bounce-back performance?
Obviously we want to bounce back, but we always look at it as the next game is always the most important. We want to go 1-0 this week. Fortunately, it's a division opponent. We're at the top of the AFC South right now. We're looking to stay there, but we gotta go handle a Houston team that obviously doesn't have any wins right now, but they're still a really good team. If you watch them on film, they've done a lot of really good things. So it's no cakewalk coming in here right now. So Houston's a really good team coming in here, and we got a little challenge.
All good?
Appreciate y'all.
Test against a mobile quarterback this year. Going back and looking at the film, how do you feel like you guys fared?
Yeah, this is the most rushing yards we gave up all year, but some of it was due to the quarterback, most of it was due to the running backs. Overall, I would say, we could have executed a little bit better in the front 7. We could have, done better.
I know it probably doesn't feel great to talk about it now after yesterday's game, but defensive rookie of the month, first month in the league. What was that like? How did that feel to be honored that way?
Yeah, it's a tremendous honor. Some of them, glad that, my play is getting recognized, but at the same time, for me, it's just, about winning. It's about doing what I can to help my team. And so, everything comes with, all those accolades and stuff like that. That comes with you just doing your job, taking pride in doing your job to the best of your ability. So that's all I'm really focused on.
On that first interception, where were you at on the field?
I was somewhere right in front of them, and I was just looking to, get a block. We have interception drills all the time, and so, I translated directly from practice to the game, and, I just wanted to, pick somebody up and, help give them, some extra yardage.
First house call in a while. Had y'all been talking about trying to get one and take it back the other way?
Yeah, I know. We've had a couple ops, to get in the end zone that we talked about as a defense. So, to capitalize on that opportunity, is great.
When they started running the ball effectively against you guys, the first quarter went the script of the previous 2 games. You got a turnover, you stopped them on a 4th down play, you made a couple of negative plays and everything. Do you think it was just a matter of nobody in Philadelphia panicked and 14-0 down, they still kind of stuck to their game plan and said we're not going to give up on the run, especially in the weather like that?
Yeah, with the weather like that was huge. And, yeah, like you said, I mean, they just stuck to running the ball. You know, they were effective at that pretty much all year. And so, you know, they stuck to what, you know, they were doing. And I think we kind of got away from what we were best at, which is really hanging our hat on stopping the run and just, you know, playing, you know, sound football.
But that being, I know nobody's in the mood for any moral victories, but that was a pretty good team you played yesterday, wasn't it? I mean,
Yeah, #1 team in the NFL going in, and probably still will remain that only unbeaten team. And you know, they're a very, you know, good team. So you know, we're not, like you said, no more victories. You know, we're just focused on getting better and improving.
When you got a team that runs as many RPOs as they do, what's different about how you attack it defensively than maybe just a pretty straightforward run team?
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing was just the fact that Jalen was such a threat running the ball that now we had to account for him, and there was an extra guy pretty much accounting for him pretty much every play, every defensive snap. So that was kind of the biggest adjustment, you know.
And that's the first time you've had to deal with that this year, so how much better prepared for that do you think you'll be going forward?
Yeah, I'd say defensively, I mean, really just as a whole, you know, coach, staff, players will all understand how to, you know, improve basically from this game. You know, there were certain things that we did this game that, you know, I feel like in some ways, you know, we made it harder than what it needed to be. And so really just, you know, finding a way to clean it out.
Have you watched, I mean, maybe highlights or something like that, or any film at all in Houston, but Damian Pierce looks like he's going to be a load to bring down.
Yeah, he's, you know, strong, jittery. I was just watching a little bit. I mean, he's going to be a tough back. So, you know, our coach mentioned it in the meeting. You know, we got to just rally. Everybody's got to get to the ball.
But you guys already have a kind of a blueprint for that in the way you played against Jonathan Taylor. So, you know, if you could stop him, do you feel like you can, you know, stop almost anybody that's kind of like the big straight-ahead guy?
Yeah, and definitely getting back to stopping the run this week is, you know, how we're going to kind of forget what happened last week. And so we got to just – it starts at practice, just being sound fundamentally and everybody getting to the ball.
You guys talk about 24-hour rule, but it's really not 24 hours, right? It's till you guys get back in here on Monday morning,
Yeah.
right? So it's like 15, 18 hours, right? Yeah. So is it hard? What's harder to move on from a loss like yesterday or like the shutout over the Colts when you guys played really, really well?
I mean, really, after a game like yesterday, you're ready to get back to work. I mean, really after any game, but especially after you lose, you kind of want to get over the film, watch it, and then put it behind you and get back to a new week. You know, it's kind of like a fresh start. So that's what we're looking forward to.
Pretty good hit you put on Jalen Hurts there on the goal line. You got to like it when a quarterback's not going to slide, right?
Yeah, for sure. I wish I was there half a step sooner. I kind of, you know, technique-wise, you know, maybe could have got there a little bit sooner to stop him on that 4th down. But, you know, yeah, I want to make that play. I got to make that play.
Good. All right. Appreciate it, Doug.
Thank you, guys.